Sorry about that. I don't know what the hell is going on. Anyway, happy Monday, guys. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Storytime with BDD. It's the music. The music is green still. Okay, now we're good, yeah? We're good. All right, so, we got some stuff. Wait, is the music still hear it? Okay, I just turned it off all the way. The music is still alive. How about now? Huh? Now it's good? You can hear me, but the music is still playing. There you go. Spencer Berg says, there you go. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, let us jump into our roundup of the stories of the day. Stories of the day. There's a crisis at the border depending on who you speak to. Spring break mayhem as Miami Beach is in a state of emergency. H.R. 1 is being discussed in the House for statehood for D.C. It would be our 51st state. Krispy Kreme is trading donuts for vaccinations. And for today's You Raggedy Bish, we got none other than Sunday's villain, Chuck Todd. Or Tuck Chad, whichever you prefer. Okay, sorry about that technical snafu, whatever, it's always, there's never a dull moment here. So today, ladies and gentlemen, is kind of a special day. Actually, the special day was yesterday, but for all intents and purposes, today is that day. We are celebrating 1 year of Storytime with a BDD. That's right. I've been coming to you live every day, Monday through Friday, with an exception of the occasional high blood pressure spike or whatever. Every day, Monday through Friday, we have been chilling here, discussing the news, discussing life, discussing TV and movies. And as promised, I got a little surprise for you guys. It's going to be another drawing, a drawing for some lucky regular peeps. So if you're here on a regular basis, I have your name down on on several pages that unfortunately I left on my coffee table. And hopefully wifey will be so kind as to hear my cry and slip those pages under the door. Please, my love, bring it to me. Oi. All right. So, I only say slip under the door because she, is notoriously camera shy and does not like to make the public appearances. And yes, Sarah, I believe I saw your name there too. So, a few things I wanted to talk about before we get into the quick hits and all that other good stuff. Friday night, we watched the Zack Snyder Justice League, which was fantastic. It was beautiful. I loved it. My son gave it an 11-7, thumbs all the way up. It was 4 hours. And full disclosure here, I did take a nap, but not because it was nap worthy, not because I wasn't enjoying it. It was, in fact, if anything, it might have been just a tad too much action. Misha, you're not very late at all. You're right on time. But yeah, fantastic movie. Zack Snyder filled in a lot of the gaps that were missing, I thought, from the first version of that movie. Also, we watched. Hold on. Thank you, my love. Yeah. Special delivery. Yeah, special delivery. Also, wifey and I finished watching, we were marathon watching Breaking Bad again. It's not the first time we watched it. We watched it again. And it was fantastic. Although it's interesting, my second time watching this, I really hated Walter White. Like, I hated him. Hated him. Disgusting. But it was a fantastic show. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. If you have seen it, check it out again. And then check out El Camino. El Camino is like a movie. It's like 2 hours. The movie that they did after the end of Breaking Bad. So I'm not going to disclose any spoilers. If you haven't seen it yet, what are you waiting for? But anyway, it takes place right at where Breaking Bad ended. And it's a very satisfying finish. That's all I can say about that. All right. So, without further ado, let's jump on into our news topics in the quick hits segment of the show. Get 'em! Quick hits. Hit that mofo. Yeah. All right. So let's see. Quick hits. Where's my quick hits button? There we go. So for whatever reason, it's a slow news day in the middle of a slow news week and a slow news month, maybe even hopefully a slow news year, because we have somebody in office who is not, setting off controversies every time he opens his mouth. Now, fruit was trending today on Twitter, and specifically, so let's talk about fruit, right? Fruit. Mom always said, make sure you eat some fruit. It's good for you. Don't eat all that candy. Eat fruit instead, right? So the Biden presidency is like the fruit that we eat after the sugar rush of the Trump presidency. It's good for you. And as we know, they say an apple a day keeps the doctor away, right? So you can probably say the apple is the king. I don't know why they say apples keep doctors away. I've eaten plenty of apples and it hasn't kept me away from the doctor. Oh my God. Fox Hill Dreams is informing me we have an active shooter in Boulder. Anybody who's in Colorado, stay far away from Boulder if you can. Now, if apple is the king, I would have to say watermelon is like the prince of fruit. Like, I don't know anybody who, when you say, hey, have some watermelon, they're like, no, I can't stand watermelon. Like, who doesn't like watermelon? It's like, yeah, I could eat watermelon anytime. But in the lower tier of fruits, I'm sorry to inform you, those of you who are fans of the grapefruit, grapefruit was listed in the bottom tier of fruit, along with pears. I don't know what pears ever did to anybody to deserve being in the bottom tier, but yeah, right down there with grapefruit. Pears are sweet, tasty. They're a little firm, but grapefruit makes you go like this, unless, like my mom used to sprinkle sugar on top of the grapefruit to make it palatable so you didn't make this face. Anyway, grapefruit, it gets a bad rap. It's actually one of the best fruits you can eat. Fox Hill Dreams is saying it is unhealthy with certain meds, so check with your doctor before you take meds and grapefruit. But for the most part, it's chock full of water. It's like 92% water, which, as you know, water is life, and life is water. It is also good for lowering your triglycerides, lowering the bad cholesterols. It's like, this fruit, there's like 17 different benefits you can get from eating grapefruit. And they say the redder it is, the better it is. Yeah, so like the pink grapefruit or the red grapefruit or whatever, you're probably canceling out the beneficial attributes of grapefruit if you're slathering it in in sugar. Asmila J is saying, dang, now I want a grapefruit. That's how I felt when I started doing this piece. Now, we segue right from the grapefruit to the Krispy Kreme. Who doesn't love donuts, right? Okay, so for the record, Krispy Kreme is the boss, and Dunkin' Donuts is crap. This is not up for debate, just so you know. Every time I go to a Dunkin' Donuts, it's like 10 police departments all went through that one Dunkin' Donuts, and there's nothing left but a few munchkins and some like old-fashioned donuts with no flavor. Pisses me off. But Krispy Kreme keeps those shelves stocked, right? When I walk into a Krispy Kreme, I'm like Homer Simpson. So Krispy Kreme is in the news today because they are offering like a trade-off. They're saying everybody who is fully vaccinated, so long as you can provide your proof of complete vaccination, you get a free donut every day if you want it. Now, don't go trading COVID for diabetes. Don't do it. But yeah, this is their latest promotion. Show your vaccination card, get a free original glazed donut. So you can't pick any donut. That's the catch, right? They make millions of those glazed donuts, so you can't get like the Oreo flavored or, cake batter. No, it's just this. But that's pretty good too, if you need it. Stay away from the diabetes. Meanwhile, in Miami Beach this weekend, I'm sure if you were on the interwebs, you did see this craziness. Well, actually, so this scene doesn't quite look as bad, but it's spring break, right? So this is happening, and this is happening. It's happening, and it's bad. It's so bad, in fact, that the mayor of Miami Beach had to declare a state of emergency in Miami Beach because there's way too many COVIDiots. And actually, it turned out getting somewhat violent, believe it or not. Police arrested about 100 protesters, and I saw somebody tweet, it was very interesting. They said, it's interesting that the cops responded a lot more quickly and more violently with these spring breakers than they did with the January 6th rioters. That's interesting to me. And when I say interesting, I mean that's some bullshit. So yeah, guys, if you have kids that are out celebrating in Miami Beach, tell them, screw your head back on right, get your ass on out of there. I don't know what else to say. Now, next up, Washington, D.C. When you think of Washington, D.C., you think of the White House, you think of the Washington Monument, you think of the U.S. Capitol. But very rarely do people think, oh, yeah, there's people that live there. No, you never think that. You always think of, I want to see the sights, the monuments and stuff. But Washington, D.C. is actually a city where 712,000 people live. And a large chunk of those people are people of color. Now, in the House today, they just introduced H.R. 51, which is the resolution that would aim to make Washington, D.C. our 51st state. This would be fantastic. This would be fantastic because not only should 712,000 people have representation in Congress, I mean, they have more people in Washington, D.C. than in the entire state of Wyoming. Think about that. Well, Wyoming is a state. They got less people. Why shouldn't they have representation? Oh, because it's mostly black people? Is that what it is? Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. So let's hope that they can get this thing untracked and we can add another state, another star to the flag of the United States of America. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. All right. So that's the quick hits for today. I've got some interesting timeline cleansers. So let's go ahead and jump on into the timeline cleanse. Timeline cleanse. Timeline cleanse. Yeah, whenever I say that, I can't help but smile. Cleanse. All right. You can't frown and say, timeline cleanse. Don't feel right. All right. The purpose of the timeline cleanse is to put a smile on your face and purge some of the negativity that we often see on the Twitter and the Facebook and the this and the that. First up, you guys, I'm sure, are familiar that now is the time for March Madness. I mean, the Twitter feed was nothing but March Madness this weekend, and I totally felt left out of that March Madness. But here's an interesting little clip. Time out. Are we buffering? I don't know why. Buffering because YouTube, well, that's crap. Buffering, more buffering. Is everybody buffering? Okay, Lee Saunders is saying, okay, you're back. It's BDD Groundhog Day. Well, okay. How many people are here? I don't see it, not anymore. Good now. Okay. Did you guys hear anything I was saying about LeBron James? Works now. You were, but you're back. You're back. We missed the cleanse. All that? You missed my timeline cleanse. All right, fine. We'll do it again. I'm not going to do the... Some folks are saying no. I don't know. Just the end. Okay, so here's LeBron James. Dude has moves. Look at him. And he's a redhead too, no less. Dude has skills. Solid Blue Sister called him Amish James. Yeah, that dude is nice. He's got moves and he's inventive. That dude should get a TV show or something of his own because that's brilliant. Brilliant. He just made a rebounder. Ingenuity. Yeah. They say, what do they say? Something about the mother. Necessity is the mother of invention. Yeah. Okay. So as I was saying before, I was saying COVID brought a lot of the creativity out, out in people. And this individual took us on a 3D creativity trip. Check this out. This is so cool. It's very simple, but just some chalk, different colored chalk, and some shading, well applied shading. This is incredible. I love it so much. It's fun by yourself. This guy needs a friend. It's very cool. I like it so much. All right, last but not least, as we saw in Miami and all over the United States, the biggest challenge during the pandemic has been getting people to wear the damn mask. What's the problem? Wear a mask, and some states have a mask mandate. Some are saying, well, we suggest you wear one, but we can't force you to wear one. In some places, they're dead serious about making sure you wear a mask. Let's take a look at Russia.
Маска где? А у вас где маска?
Where's your mask?
Скорей. Так, стой. Маска где? Маска где?
They all throw the masks on. Yo, they pulled them out of the blue, out of thin air.
Стой.
No.
Маска где? Маска где, говорю? Маску где?
Look it up. Where's my mask? I'm just gonna. Here, I got it.
Маску где, я сказал. Молодцы.
I got my mask.
Маска где? Маска где? Маску одень.
He's putting it on wrong. It's not even putting it. It's not over the nose.
Маску одень.
Can we do that here? See, there's no translation for the name Karen in Russia, so they don't they don't play that Karen bullshit. All right, that's it for today's timeline cleanse. By the way, before I go any further, let me just say that last clip, those two guys, the cop and the guy he's hitting, they are actors, just so you know. I think it's a very clever social experiment. I wish they would do something like that. Actually, no, if they did something like that here, the guy would be arrested. All right. Now, I did promise a surprise for you guys. First, I want to say how much I appreciate you, those of you who have stuck with me from day one, day after day after day, when this show didn't have all of this luxurious high-tech finesse, when it was just me on my shitty phone. Now, some of you heard my little sound clip. You need to leave. Yeah, you need to leave. That was a little thing that we all chuckled about a month or so ago, and it's been a running joke on this show. And as such, as such, we made t-shirts. Yes, you need to leave. And these t-shirts will be available on the Brooklyn Dad Defiant website, but actually they are available now. But these shirts are going to be available. These are what we're giving away. We're doing a giveaway for these shirts, and that's what this list Wait. Excuse me. That's what this list is for. I'm going to read out the names, and I need you guys to listen carefully for your name. Okay? If at the end of this list you don't hear your name read, then please go to the tweet for today's show and say, BDD, you didn't read my name. Please make sure I'm there. And when you say that, make sure it's your YouTube name. Because what we're going to do is we're going to take these. Let's see if you guys can see your names. There's Scribble My Dibble, Valerie G, Petty Deb, DB, Julie, right? All those names, they're going to be cut and put into a hat, and we're going to draw them, and we're going to do that tomorrow. And the lucky people who get pulled out of the hat are going to receive a free "You Need to Leave" t-shirt. You need to leave. Yeah, one of these cool babies. All right? So, listen up carefully, right? Listen for your name. This is going to be the roll call, but it's different. You can say present. You can say present when you hear your name. You know, you can do that in the chat over there. Listen up. Scribble My Dibbles. You know who you are. Laura Zlacky Red Swan. Valerie G. Petty Deb. DB404. I think that's Pasta D. Julie Corriere. Sudi Q. Kathy Murphy. Michelle Warmoth. Darlene Mortensen. Stephanie L. Audrey U. too. Queen of the South Sea. Too Real As It Gets. Jamie Wright. Sharon Gibson. Phyllis Hatch. Patricia Haverkamp. Tracy, that's Nurse Mitch 7. Stacy Mendenhall. Monique. I think that's Monique from the DMV. It just says Monique here. Eddie Geddy. Kimberly Moss. Jennifer Sawyer. Pandora. CRW. Solid Blue Sister. Victorina. A.K. Cindy. That's Cindy from Alaska. Asmila J. Samantha. I believe that's Samantha from the Bronx. Hawkins. Eponymous George. Wilbur McCarthy. Kathleen Cross. Foxhill Dreams. Jen and Fat Tony. Eric Johnson. That's Weed Whacker Eric, you guys. Weed Whacker Eric. Tina G from Albuquerque. We Are the Defiant Ones. No LBT. Stella Baxter. Sylvia Correa. Sheila Bird. Gina Potter. Marty. That's all I got. Marty. Pete is a boss from Colorado. Punxsutawney Mo. Gavin Rutherford. Sherry Scary. Amanda Crawford. Lucy L. Julian Gautier. It's really Gutierrez, but it's a long joke. It's just Julian Gautier. Lee Saunders. Star Shoemate. Misha Oliver. Laurie B. That's Raleigh, Massachusetts, Laurie B. Deb B. The Trump Reaper. Lisa Straw. Marie M. I believe that's Marie from New Jersey. Bernadette H. Karen Purdy from Newton Falls, Ohio. I can't help it. Cindy CWE. That's Cindy CWE. Watcher Soko. Oni Yuri. That's Sandra from Paramount, California. Sheila McGinnis. Corey Lord. Roger Gray, who happens to be a nice guy. Matt from Albuquerque. Lane 2. Bellamy Amami. And Matt Meehan. That is it. That's all I have for the regulars. Now, if you were missed, it doesn't mean you're not a regular. It just means that, it's difficult to put this list together, and it's possible that we did miss. There's no slight intended. We love you just the same. Just please make sure, if you didn't hear your name, please put it in the tweet for today's show. And we will make sure, Audrey, you too. I just read your name off, just so you know. Cindy C says she wasn't called. Now, I did read, you're saying you don't know who Cindy CWE is. But that's it right there. Right, there's your little icon there. So, Midas Cat, make sure you put your name, because I know you are a regular. Wojo Mom, did I miss Wojo Mom? Shit. All right, you see that? Wojo Mom has been in this show since the beginning of time, since the dawn of time. Hilda Baeza is also a regular here. So yeah, please make sure you put your name in the reply to the tweet for today's show. Yeah. Jamie from Wisconsin. Lisa Hathaway. Okay, we missed Jamie. Your boy Ken. Oh my God, this is terrible. Cecile Kazimi. All right, so it's likely that we probably missed a good 20 or 30 people. Jen Murphy, we missed. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, all you guys. M. Ward, you too. M. Ward, Cha-Cha from Seattle. Good Lord. All right, so look. Don't stretch me across the rack here, guys. I did the best I could. I did my best. I gave my best, but I guess my best wasn't good enough. All right. Let's move right on along. Linda Taylor. Okay, so you guys, if you heard what I said, please, I'll say it one more time. Please put your name, put a reply in the tweet for today's show. And, and we'll get that fixed up right away. But, yeah, Tina G, I got Matt. I got Matt on the list there. So, all right. Let's jump right into what I guess is the big story of the day and probably of the week and probably, wifey says I'm missing a page. That's what's wrong. Okay, so the big story is the border crisis. And yes, it is a crisis. We spent a lot of time getting on Trump's case about how he was dealing with the border. Well, there's a big difference. Trump had a policy of separating children from their parents at the border. This is very different. And Mehdi Hassan last night had a discussion with Dan Crenshaw from Texas. And Dan Crenshaw was trying to say, oh, no, this is Biden caused this. This is Biden's fault. And Mehdi Hassan had to set him straight. I'm going to share that with you now.
So let's talk about what you and the Republican Party call the Biden border crisis, this idea that he created it. since coming to office. Let me just put some numbers up on screen. You can see clearly from those CBP numbers that since the pandemic and since Title 42 was brought in to expel asylum seekers at the start of the pandemic, border apprehensions have gone up month after month. The truth is Joe Biden did not inherit falling numbers. He inherited 9 consecutive months of increases at the border. It's right there on screen for single adults and for families and kids.
Yeah, I'm not sure where you're getting your data from. Look, in February, we had over 100,000 crossings. Back in November, there was about 800 people in CBP custody. Now there's about 10,000. Migrants will tell you, as reporters are interviewing them, that Joe Biden invited them. The drug cartels are passing this information along. Look, there was very specific policies that were reversed as soon as Biden took office. As you mentioned, that I said in our Twitter exchange, our Made in Mexico policy, and really importantly, the asylum cooperative agreements with Northern Triangle countries. This basically reinstates a process of catch and release. When people think that they're going to come across the border, as long as they have a child with them and they're going to be released, then that's a huge incentive to come across, especially when they're going to get a bus ticket wherever they want, and now a hotel room, because that's what's being funded. So the incentives are pretty obvious, and we have to ask ourselves the question, is this a sustainable policy? And is this fair to millions and millions of people around the world who have valid asylum claims that now are getting clogged into the system and can't get their claims heard?
A lot of claims made there, which we'll try to unpack in the brief time we have together. I just want to stick to one. You said, I don't know where you're getting the numbers from. Let's just pull up the graph again. That is a graph from the American Immigration Council based on CBP figures. Those are CBP numbers. If we pull up the graph, I just want you to have a look at that graph we just had. That's 9 straight months. You can see there, Title 42 expulsion.
I can't see the graph, but I can tell you, I just got off the phone.
Well, let me tell you, it's 9 straight months. Hold on, Congressman. 9 straight months of increases in immigrants being apprehended at the border. Joe Biden did not inherit
just to be clear,
9 months of fall.
Just to be clear, you're just denying that this massive increase happened in the last couple of months. We're just denying that?
No, I didn't deny there was a massive increase. I can agree there's a massive increase. Can you agree there were 9 months of increases prior to Biden coming into office? That's what the CBP figures show.
These are not substantial increases. Look, I just got off the phone with one of the former CBP chiefs. There's about 1,000 people released into the U.S.
Yeah, he is shifting the goalpost, but the fact remains, like it or not, right? Joe Biden is our president now. So what Mr. Hassan was saying is true. It's true that there was a sharp increase in the 9 months leading up to January, a sharp, steep increase, and those figures are not made up. But now Joe Biden is the president, so it is his job to address this. So when I first saw these pictures today, it was under a hashtag for Project Veritas. Anytime I see something from Project Veritas, it basically means, it's bullshit, right? However, this came from Axios. As you can see up here, these photos are from Axios. And yeah, we don't like to see these things at all. So they're not cages, but they might as well be. I don't see any beds there. I see a bunch of people on the floor. Apparently, they are at 700% capacity right now. 700% capacity. And now what we're going to see a lot of is memes and political cartoons like this. Obviously, none of those people were in cages, but the optics nonetheless are bad. You see a lot of people wrapped up in what looks like tin foil. Those are like those warming blankets, but nonetheless, it's not good. And this is a situation that was already well underway, and it increased when Joe Biden became president because people thought, hey, okay, we can go into America now. So as of today, as far as I know, as of today, the border is closed, except They said they are not turning away unaccompanied minors. And let's see. The quote from the Secretary of DHS, Department of Homeland Security, said, quote, "We will not expel young, vulnerable children." So here's the problem. You got a bunch of people who are fleeing from like devastating hurricanes. They're fleeing from violence, whether it's drug cartel related or just straight up criminal violence, and starvation. Legitimate concerns, you know. They are desperate to get away from the thing that is killing their people. And here we are, you know, we're not inundated with that kind of issue. So they're looking for escape. So it does look like the Biden administration was caught flat-footed by this, right? Now, Jen Psaki was asked about it, and she said, this is not a crisis. This is a circumstance. Now, in my opinion, that is one of the rare times when Jen Psaki inartfully described, you know, what is going down. I think she did her best to damage control with that response, but call it what it is. It's a crisis. You have to own it. If you're going to fix it, you have to address the full severity of what it is. You cannot fix something unless you accept it is a problem. Take it from a guy who is going on 18 years sobriety this year. All the years that I struggled with drug addiction, I could not arrest it until I admitted, oh yeah, I got a problem. I cannot do this anymore. So the Biden administration has to stop dodging this and accept it. At this point, doesn't matter that, you know, the numbers were spiking under Trump. It doesn't matter. You're the president now. Fix it. My concern is that this is going to make the immigration discussion a lot more complicated now and a lot more nuanced, because now we got people coming here, right? Here's the big thing. We have people coming here and they are being released into America after a certain period of time without a court date. Yeah. So it really looks like they do not have a grip on this situation. So good. They close the border. They give them some time to reconfigure and figure out a new way to, this can be done. This can be done, and it can be done well. I told you guys about, you know, my addiction. There was one time I was in Phoenix House, a place called Phoenix House, and the facility I stayed in, I was 17 years old. I was a 17-year-old kid. There were kids in there. There's 350 of us in this one facility, massive facility. We had 2 people per room. We had floors for boys and floors for girls. And we, the residents, did everything. We did the cleaning. We did the cooking. We did the repairs. We got training. We got, you know, vocational training. People who wanted to become chefs. People who wanted to do maintenance. People who, all different kinds of things. So you can create, you can take this crisis and turn it into an amazing thing. If you think outside of the box for a second, you know, have some responsible people administer this place, make sure it's safe, make sure it's up to code, make sure it is well supervised, highly supervised, you know, and it can be done. It can be done. You can have the kids, the residents, you know, call it whatever you will call it, you know, if they're going to school. Like I remember in this facility, we were going to school. Yeah, Jen Murphy says, make it an opportunity. it's like they are going to be coming. Expect that. Stop thinking Joe Biden here in this tweet. It says he tells migrants not to come to U.S. Don't leave your town. Well, guess what? They are not reading Jake Tapper's Twitter. They are not listening to the news on CBS or whatever. So they're going to come. And as long as you accept that they are going to come, then you can plan for what you do when they come. Yeah. We can't hold Trump accountable for atrocities at the border and not hold our own side to the border, because then that makes us hypocrites. I just got news from Lee Saunders. She says they caught the shooter in Boulder, Colorado. That's excellent news. Thank you for that update. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. It is that time for our 1-year anniversary special. Yay! So, on March 21st, which actually was a Saturday, I did a live reading of The Littlest President. And that was the day that I also lost my job. So I became an author and unemployed on the same exact day. It's been an interesting year, and it's been fun. And you guys have been here with me through the whole thing, and I love you for that. Yeah? I've had some good days, and I've had some not so good days. I'm going to share with you. So one of the challenges of this show was constantly coming up with new content. And I swear, every single day that I'm preparing for this show, I go and I complain to wifey. I'm like, I got nothing. I got nothing. I got no content. And then by the time I'm ready to start the show, I got more content than I know what to do with. But the other challenge was like trying to promote this thing, this show, and tell people about it. So I came up with different ways to tell people. Here's one.
It is a nation of chaos, crushed by a coronavirus crisis that caused its citizens to shelter in place. Its new normal, characterized by the sudden disappearance of hand sanitizers, toilet paper, water, and public displays of affection. A nation reeled in the absence of reason and presidential leadership. They turned to their state governors, healthcare professionals, grocery workers, and comedians for comfort in the age of coronavirus. But one major thing was missing in this new normal. It was pants. In the Storytime Zone. Join us today during the Trump press briefing.
So goofy. Yeah, that was the thing. Everybody was doing Zoom calls, and the running joke was that people were not wearing pants. Wifey was doing my film work, by the way. That was not a great impression of Rod Serling, but I did my best. And then a few months later, I think it might have been July, my Twitter account hit 500,000, and that was a very big deal. So I came up with this idea to send Spanky a copy of The Littlest President. And so I did a video documenting that.
pretty steep. To celebrate
So bad.
Obama Appreciation Day, also for hitting 500,000 Twitter followers, thank you so much. I will be sending a copy of The Littlest President to the White House. So, let me see. Dear Spanky McDumbass, please take some time out from your busy Twittering schedule to have someone read this book to you. It has pictures. It also shows where you will be 1 year from now. I hope you do not enjoy this book. Also, fuck you. Sincerely, Brooklyn Dad Defiant.
Yeah, I wanted it to go so well. I actually wrote it out first on a piece of paper to make sure, because, you know, you can't, if you mess up one book, then you've messed it up and you can't give that to anybody. But here's another thing that I found. Oh, I even wrote, I had my own little script for that. I found my original sketches. Here is the cover. This was my original sketch of the cover. There's Obama, Hillary, Nancy Pelosi, Joseph R. Biden, Bladder Bear Poopin, all of them. Now, the difference is, this is just a rough sketch that I made that John Kelly was able to take and beautifully transform. I mean, he changed the perspective a little bit. He had them standing more like in an arc. Yeah. So he better utilized the space. He made me look fantastico. And then here are my original storyboard sketches. Yeah, here is the favorite page, Spanky McDumbass, and there's the text there. There's so many. All of these pages pretty much turned out exactly as I sketched them. They just looked a lot better. Here's the one where he's standing on the stack of books. Here's the other one with the homage to Hall. He did a fantastic job on that. It was very difficult sketching in these little tiny boxes. There are like 44 boxes. There's the one with malaria. There's the one with the bus and the epistant right there. This is the Obama pages, I should say. Yeah, it was fantastic. So the purpose of doing Storytime with BDD, that's actually, Jennifer, that was not a Spider-Man head. That was Deadpool. The purpose of doing Storytime, it was two purposes. One was to take attention away from the Trump press briefings because they were so stupid, and all he was doing was saying, "I'm so great. Look at how great I am. This thing is going to go away. Forget about it. Have some hydroxychloroquine and some bleach," and I figured instead of grousing about how bad this is, let me turn some heads away from his stupid thing, and let's have something fun, something informative, but mostly fun and a little bit laid back. That's my thing. I'm not I'm not Anderson Cooper. I'm not a Don Lemon. I am just Brooklyn Dad. I am Majid Padillin, and Majid Padillin enjoys politics. He enjoys news. He enjoys being goofy. That's who I be. And as you can see from some of the pictures here, we did this very low tech. This was on my phone until we found out that they were stopping Periscope. They were ending their support for Periscope. So I was like, shit, I actually have to put this in a format that can move forward unimpeded. So so let's see, what else did I have? Oh yeah, I don't know why I'm saving this. I think I felt really bad about using so much paper, but this right here, these are my notes from the past year. These. Every day I make an agenda, of things that I'm going to cover. And my notes are all here. It's like 1,000 pages. I guess ultimately I want to be able to repurpose these. So that's why I'm holding on to them. But it's a lot. That's like 5 pounds of paper there. So once again, guys, thank you so much for joining us, for staying with us, for helping to form this wonderful community we have. It's an amazing community. You guys are so supportive of me and of each other. And I can't thank you guys enough for that. So without further ado, somebody's... Trump Reaper said sell them. Who's going to buy that shit? Okay, so let me turn on the light. Actually, do I need the light? No, I don't even need it. It is now time, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, wait a minute. I do that every time. It's time for You Raggedy Bitch. And Punxsutawney Mo is asking if the book got me laid off. It's a funny question. That is what I thought, because I literally got the phone call like 10 minutes after finishing my first Storytime episode. I got the phone call and I was like, wow, timing, huh? I will never know. Okay, so today's You Raggedy Bitch is none other than Chuck Todd. It's Sunday if you go to Twitter and Chuck Todd is trending. And it's not because he's done something wonderful and, and people are really happy with him. No, it's because he's being Chuck Todd. To this day, I don't understand how he still has a job when I think every single Sunday for the past year, Fire Chuck Todd has been trending. Why? On the surface, he doesn't seem all that bad, but yeah, he is. He is. The problem with Tuck Chod. The problem with Tuck Chod is that he doesn't push back on the bullshit. He has Republicans on his show basically so that they can treat him like a piñata. And they just beat him around the head and he just takes whatever they tell him. Republicans, no pushback whatsoever. And he's on our channel. I'm sorry. That is MSNBC, the right has Fox. We have MSNBC. God damn it. And I would like to think that if you're a news guy, if you consider yourself a journalist and somebody is offering up some very easily disproven propaganda, you can smash them back and say, hey, wait a minute, what do you mean by that? Just push back a little bit. He's that guy that if you're watching a horror movie and he's like, I'm just going to walk into this door where there's a lot of loud growling coming from behind. You're like, no, don't do it. And he does it anyway. He does it every single time. It's worthless. You know, Meet the Press used to be a decent show, a very good show under Tim Russert. Chuck Todd, you gotta go, man. You need to leave. He is today's you raggedy bitch. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the littlest president. The littlest president is available on BrooklynDadDefiant.com. It's also available on Amazon.com. If you want to get it on Amazon.com, then that's pretty good too. But if you get it on the BrooklynDadDefiant.com, you get the very special, very fancy, very swooshy signature that everybody loves. Look how beautiful it is. We love it so much. And it says, Hui Juan. Am I not tired right now of saying Hui Juan? No. No, I'm not. I'm not tired of it at all. Did you guys hear that Spanky McDumbass has a plane? It's a Boeing 757. It is sitting on an airplane tarmac somewhere, like abandoned. He can't do anything with it. And this guy wants to start his own social network. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait. The Littlest President is starring. Right? There we go. President Barack Obama. Hillary Rodham Clinton. Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Joseph R. Biden. And the R stands for ready to kick that ass. Bladder bear pooping, holding the puppet strings on Spanky McDumbass. Complicit Barbie. Rudy Giuliani. Gummy McJuicebox. Kellyanne Conjob. Stephen the Snake Miller. And Mitch McTurtle McConnell. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our favorite page, because this is Spanky McDumbass. Spanky McDumbass is sad. He used to be rich. He used to be a businessman. He used to be a TV star. He used to be the littlest president. But now Spanky McDumbass is in jail. How did he get here? Let's go back. Yes, let's go back, shall we? Sarah says, think the attempted social media will go as well as his football league. That's a fun fact. He tried to start a football league. What was that? Not XFL? Was it XFL? CFL? I don't remember what it, but it was some football league. Yeah. Fail. But what Spanky loved doing more than anything was tweeting. Many of his tweets were complaints like, witch hunt or presidential harassment. Oh, USFL. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Other tweets complained about celebrities or fake news or the size of his crowds. Sometimes he attacked people for no reason. Sometimes he threatened people. Once, he even threatened civil war. Spanky was bad at tweeting. And what's funny, what led to his eventual being banned from Twitter was that whole thing with the insurrection and trying to sell the big lie. You know, he kept on saying that he won the election, that it was stolen, and he's busy with his tweets stirring up, inciting the same kind of insanity that sucked people in to that insurrection. Sure, some folks who were there planned it. They planned it. They lit the spark. But you had a situation. You had thousands of angry people. And then these insiders, they mixed in and boom. And you had Trump right there that day saying that you have to fight and then you have to march on the Capitol. He literally told them to march on the Capitol. Don't let this jackass off the hook. I swear. The impeachment trial, that went one way because Republican senators are cowards. But, they can bring a civil or criminal case against him. And they should. They absolutely should. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I got time for like this many questions because I went way overboard once again today. Trump Reaper says, beating cops with thin blue line flags. Yeah, they're all about the hypocrisy. Let's see. Yep. Watcher Soko says he told them he would be there with them. He tells people a lot of things. None of them are true. Eric says he fueled a boat the other night. The assistant chief engineer thinks the election was stolen. Still. Unreal. Melanie Joliet, ooh, that's a fancy name, Joliet, says they're looking into that, aren't they? I believe so. I believe they are. Roger Gray says, that's where I meet BDD, was on Trump's Twitter calling him a dumbass. Yeah. I don't miss that at all. At all. Yeah. Cindy, thank you so much. She says, don't forget to like the thumbs up this video like BDD forgot the... Yeah, I forgot the dun dun dun. Let's see. Weed Whacker Eric wants to know, how are the cats, and can't wait to see the garden pics. So the cats are doing fine. They are lovely. They're very cute and fun. And they're so easy to entertain. We give Rainy, our dog, these dog chow pellets. They're probably about that big, right? We take one of those pellets, and the cats will play with that one pellet for hours. They're also entertained by shoelaces, apparently. Anything you can wave in front of them that they can, grab at. These cats are adorable. Alaska Cindy wants to know, do you still love us after all this time? Of course I do. I really do. And when I end up having to skip a day for whatever reason, it hurts me. It hurts me to my heart. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. All right. But guys, thank you so much for another wonderful episode of Storytime with BDD. I'm your host, BDD, a.k.a. Brooklyn Dad. And if you have to go out, make sure you wear your masks 2, both masks. Wear your gloves. Keep your social distance 6 feet or better. And have a lovely, relaxing evening. I will see you guys here tomorrow. Same time, same place. I love you all. Peace. Boom. Hey. Hey, hey. Thank you to Real As It Gets. Thank you very much for that. Remember to hit that like button. Hey! You need to leave. Hey! Yes, Cindy says, don't forget to add your name to the tweet if you were missed.